guys, it's Sarah on my iPhone. Yes. Today I'm going to be doing a writing vlog. I don't think I've vlogged on this channel before, so this is new. I realized that writing vlogs are one of my most watched videos ever. So if I see someone that has uploaded a writing vlog, guarantee gonna watch it right away because I love that kind of stuff. So I decided I would do it too, because if it's something that I enjoy watching so much, why would I not? So I am back on the writing bandwagon. I am working on the first draft of a young adult novel. It's gonna be a fantasy time travel story with Vikings. Yes, I'm super excited about it because I'm really passionate about Norse mythology, which is really what I'm relying heavily on for this story. I'm just super pumped on it. And you know, I'm gonna talk about the process, I'm gonna talk about my thoughts and feels, and hopefully this is gonna be like a regular thing on my channel. And this is like a really awkward angle. I'm like, hey. So yeah, I'm about 11,000 words into the first draft, which is good. However, I feel that like it's all garbage and needs to not be a thing, and I need to rewrite it, but I'm not going to. That's what the revision is for. So right now I'm going back and I'm essentially outlining what I want to do, because before it was just like flying by the seat of my pants. Didn't work out. I'm not a pantser. A pantser is someone who doesn't plan, and then a planner is someone who plans their novel. So for the story, I want to have it, I'm thinking right now I want it to be about 90,000 words, 80 to 90, I'm not 100% sure. One thing that I've decided to do is rewards. So I've decided that when I am done the first draft, there's this really awesome Norse bracelet that I found online, and I'm gonna buy it. But not until I'm done the first draft. It's beautiful, it's like 30 bucks, but it's based on a Swedish bracelet found in a burial plot. So I'm gonna buy that when I'm done the first draft. Which I think is really important. I really think you need to set goals and then sometimes reward yourself as like something to look forward to, not as if having a final draft isn't something to look forward to. But I don't want to talk too much about the plot because it might change. The main character is a girl. She's gonna be 17. She's gonna be a senior in high school. She's gonna be Canadian because you know, you gotta write what you know, so my main character is gonna be Canadian. She's gonna be rebellious. One thing that I find extremely difficult is that I've never written a historical novel. I've written fantasy stuff, but with fantasy there's no rules. You can make it up and it doesn't matter because you're making it up. But because I'm using Norse mythology, I have to get it right, and it's really difficult. Like just trying to get my head around all the mythology and making sure I'm using it correctly. The novel is going to be taking place in Sweden and Denmark. I've never been to Sweden or Denmark, so I've been relying very heavily on Google and Google Maps, because they have the option where you can take the little man, drag him, and go into Street View and like look at things. So I've been using that a lot, which I find has been so helpful. Outlining is difficult when you're trying to get your head, like I feel I should have done more research. No time like the present, I guess, to do more research, but I don't know. Do you guys struggle with outlining books, or are you guys pantsers or plotters? Like how do you guys outline novels? I've just been going and watching so many videos on the different methods, like the snowflake method is a big one, and just like the sticky note, putting out chronologically thing. Because I know what's gonna happen at the beginning, I know all the main things, and I'm pretty sure I know how it ends, but I don't know who the bad guy is. I don't know if I want it to be like, because if I was going purely off Norse mythology, it would make sense to use Loki as the antagonist, but I don't want to do that because it's like the Marvel thing. I don't want to make it look like a fan fiction. And another problem I've been having is the time period that I want is right in the time where the Vikings TV show is, Ragnar Lothbrok. I want the book to be set in 803 AD, specifically because that's like when they think this change of kings happened, which I'm using in the story. But then like I don't want it to look like a Viking fan fiction either, because it's not. I've only watched like season 1 of Vikings and I loved it, but then I was like, I'm not allowed to watch more because it's going to influence my story. So I'm listening to the soundtrack of the Viking TV show because it's amazing. Let me just jam for you. I've been listening to a band that I think they did do some music for Vikings, but they are so amazing. They're called Wardruna. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong, but it's like Wardruna. They do like very epic Norse music, and I like have been bumping it nonstop while I've been writing. So yeah, I've just been like listening. I have like this whole writing playlist on Spotify because Spotify's bae essentially. But like the main problem is the planning. I just like have such problems because as soon as I get into the planning process, then it's just like the world opens up and I get all these ideas and then I don't know what to do because there's so many options and so many things that I want to add, and then it's very overwhelming for me. So I mean, am I being a little bit ambitious with trying to do a historical fantasy-esque story based in very real things that happened? Probably. And I should probably go back and reread like the Prose Edda and the Elder Edda. That's like where a lot of the Norse myths come from because they're explained in detail in these poems that were like recorded in Iceland in like the 1100s, but the story 803-ish is what I'm thinking, starting in Sweden. Then due to unforeseeable events we go to Denmark, and then we also deal with the Faroe Islands, and I'm probably saying that wrong. Yeah, so in this vlog I guess I'm just complaining about research. I'm complaining about my lack of a plot structure. Well, I don't have a lack of a plot, it's just like I don't know what to do about the bad guys. Like I've just been trying to brainstorm who is going to be leading this Legion of Death? Like, isn't that something we all want to know? Because I do. I don't know, because I don't want to do Loki, and then I don't want to do like some petty jarls, which are like lords, but like I don't want to get too into the plot because I'm not like 100% set on it, and I don't want to like, I don't know. Is anybody else writing a novel right now? Because I want writing buddies. Internet friends, are you writing a novel? Please tell me. Because I've been just like frequenting all of the subreddits for writing. I talked about these a lot in my other writing videos, but Reddit is the best for writing resources, as well as the NanoWriMo Forums. Beautiful. So right now, like the tabs that I have on my computer, I have YA writers, and I'll leave all links to these below, which they talk obviously solely about YA writers. Then I have Camp NanoWriMo because that's also going on right now, but I am not participating in that because it just didn't end up happening. And then I got the NanoWriMo subreddit. Then I got the writing subreddit. Then I have the NanoWriMo website forums up. And then I also have a bunch of Google searches for like, there's this one resource that I've been using a lot. It's a website called Ask the Viking Lady. She's amazing. She goes like, I don't know like if she has like a doctorate in Norse studies, but she's like a fucking goddess on all things Viking and like living in the Viking age. And I'm so glad, like I've been looking at her site actually for a few years now, like before I started this book, because I've just always been really interested in Norse mythology, because growing up, we went to a Swedish daycare. Like, well, it wasn't Swedish, but like the people that owned it were very Swedish. And then there was a lot of like Viking talk, like their son that was my age was all like, I'm a Viking. And I was like, screw you, I want to be a Viking. But, so that's kind of like what prompted it. And then my friends in high school were super into Viking stuff. But so it's all come to this. I'm trying to get a novel. What I want to do with it, I want to freaking finish the first draft. I want to edit that draft. I want to edit it again and find some beta readers possibly and do that. But that's like not for a long time because this is going to take a long time. Then, I mean, I don't want to self-publish for the first time. I mean, I feel if I like had a very good knowledge of the publishing industry as a whole, then I could possibly go that route, but I do not. So for the first like time that I really would like to try to get it like traditionally published, but that is not for a long time coming, like at least a few years, because it takes a while, you know, if anyone will even want it, because this is the first, like, this is gonna be the first finished draft. I'm really, really committed to finishing it. I know I've said this before about like my past projects, but I've been doing a lot of writing prompts, like, oh, Another good one, Reddit writing prompts. I realized also that like some of my friends from work use it, and I was like, oh my god, let me talk to you about the songs of my people because this is what I do. And then we chatted about writing prompts and stuff, and it was great. Every day, just like tons and tons of people post different prompts, and you write like a few hundred word or whatever responses. I've been doing that a lot in writing, just like a lot of really short things just to like get back into like the writing like mode, you know? But I don't have any books on Norse mythology. I have like some online resources because everything is online essentially. But I think I'm gonna be buying my own copy of the Elder and the Prose Edda just so I can like mark it up and like make notes and stuff about different things, because I really want to rely heavily on the stories and themes and actions of the gods and the stories of that time. But then I also want to have my own story coinciding with that, and I just want to like saturate the feels into this book. I really want it to be dark and mysterious and magical. Like, I really look up to Neil Gaiman, and like I do enjoy Holly Black, and I really like that kind of dark, mysterious sort of stuff. That I feel like that's definitely my writing style. And I'm not afraid of death for my characters, so there's definitely going to be death and gore. Like, and this is another thing that I struggle with for the story because I want to do a YA book, but I don't know if the subject matter is going to be okay. I don't want the book to be too adult, but it's a very adult sort of thing. So I know this is going to be an issue as I get more into the, sorry, I keep touching my glasses. They don't actually fit me. They're like way too loose on my head. But I'm really struggling with balancing the adult, deathy, morbid, realistic content with trying to keep with like an older YA audience. It's not like, I don't want it to be a new adult, because ideally I would like to have like 17 to 21, but that's new adult. 16 to 20. Like these, like you really have to plan out before the book starts what your audience is going to be, and I didn't to the extent that I needed to. I was like, oh, it'll be a YA, it'll be great. Meh. But now I have this problem where it's like all the things I want to do, I want to have a lot of death, I want to have a lot of action with gore, possibly. I mean, because I want it to be like that, you know? But then I also want it, like the main character is a 17-year-old girl. The main character is gonna be thinking like a 17-year-old girl. So I'm really conflicted. I don't know, have you guys run into this problem before? Please let me know, because like I think this is gonna be a really big issue, is just like keeping it PG enough for young people, but then also giving them the gist of the gore and the destruction. And like, I'm not saying Vikings were pillaging, raping Neanderthals, because they were absolutely not at all. But like in 800 AD, things were kind of fucked up. Like, let's be real. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking right now. There is the 11,000 words done, so I have 80,000-ish left to write. But I feel that the stuff that I've written is really bad, but I'm really critical of like what I do, and then it's like I get hypercritical and then nothing gets written. So I just like, I'm trying to just plow past my inner editor and just put it on the page, and then take this verbal mental diarrhea and arrange it into a potpourri of goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna leave all the links to everything I talked about below. If you're writing a novel, or if you've written a novel, let me know also. Because that would be cool. And if you have like writing vlogs, and I don't think that I've seen them, just link them. I don't care. I'll approve them, because I know YouTube flags linked videos. Or just be like, yo, I have writing vlogs, because I will watch them. Because that's my favorite type of video. But yeah, so this is like a really weird kind of video. I'm gonna try and do it at least every 2 weeks, maybe sooner, depending on what kind of forward motion I get with this story. But as we're standing right now, I'm pretty pumped on the story. I'm really excited about it. I've continued to be excited about it, because this has been like, I've been on and off thinking and planning about it for months and months, like since November, I want to say. But it's finally coming to fruition, and it's just like super fun. I'm in my living room. Here, I'll take you outside for a moment. So that's my table right there. Big old window, and then I get to look out onto this panoramic gorgeousness. So this is what I stare at while I'm writing the story, and I'm imagining long ships just like coming in. Also, another thing is I'm gonna try and keep writing updates on my Snapchat. So if you guys don't have me as a friend on Snapchat, you should change that. SarahSunbeemz is the username, and I'll write it down below. Oh, I didn't even talk about what I'm using to write it with. So I've been using a combination of Scrivener and Pages. Pages is just like the preloaded writing application that comes onto Mac. So what I've been doing, I tried writing on Scrivener, and I do like using it just for easiness sake. I have been writing it on Pages, and I've been keeping all my notes on Scrivener because Scrivener is the best for notes and stuff. Like, I would highly recommend it. And then once I'm done the first draft, I'm going to take the long Word document, cut it into chapters, and then put it onto Scrivener and then go from there. I just like having the two side by side and being able to like switch back and forth. It just seems to be what's working the best for me right now. I can have this going, and then I could have like that right there, so that it would just be like super easy to go back and forth if I'm wanting to reference something. This is just what's been super helpful for me. But yeah, so I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. This vlog is interesting. Please tell me if you like this style of video. That's the video, that's the vlog, that's the process thus far. I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, social media is all down below. Links to all the things I talked about are down below. And I'm Sarah, and I will see you guys later, hopefully with way more words written and an actual antagonist. Like main antagonist, because I just don't have one yet. But